going to be learning about equivalent fractions. Listen to the English word equivalent. What word do you hear in equivalent? That might give us a clue about what we're talking about. In the word equivalent, I sort of hear the word equal. So that means I'm basically looking for something that's equal. Let's take a look at something that is equal, okay? It's Pizza Monday. We're going down. Today, they're cutting their pizzas a little bit differently. Usually they cut into 8 slices. However, this time they're cutting it into only 2 slices. Let's say you usually get, this is a little crazy, okay? But let's say you usually get 4 slices of pizza. I'm going to shade in how much you eat. 1 slice, 2 slice, 3, and 4. Ooh. 4 slices of pizza. Now it's Pizza Lunch Monday, but they've changed it up a little bit. Instead of needing 4 slices, they've cut the pizza like this. You used to eat 4 out of how many slices? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You used to eat 4 out of 8 slices. That sounds like a lot. But now they cut the pizza into a different size, into different slices. So how am I going to eat the same amount? I want to be able to eat the same amount. Do I need 4 of these slices? Not really. How many slices do I need to shade in order for these 2 pizzas to have the same equivalent amount? In this pie, I only need to eat 1 slice out of 2. Now here's my fraction. Do we all agree that I've colored in the equal amounts? They both look like half. I've colored in an equal amount. The only difference is these numbers are all different. Here it's 1 over 2, here it's 4 over 8. Now let me talk a little bit about what these numbers mean. The 1 on top means I'm eating 1 out of 2 slices. This numbers mean I'm eating 4 out of 8 slices. But they're equal in my tummy because I'm eating the same amount, even though the numbers have changed. Let's talk about another equivalent fraction. Wouldn't these 2 drawings look equal? Pizza's cut into 1 out of 4 slices. It's equal to same pizza. This is your typical Pizza Lunch Monday pizza. But if I want this amount in my tummy, how many slices do I need for that to be equal? I'm going to need to eat 2 slices. Out of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Voila! I've just created 2 more equivalent fractions, and they are equal in amount. How do I know that they are equal? Well, I'm going to show you now that we understand that 1/4 and 2/8, I just showed you the drawings, they're equal. Now I'm going to show you how, the steps that I'm going to take so that you can always find an equal amount if they change up the pizza lunch cutting, okay? So from here, if you've ever baked before, you used a recipe card, right? A recipe. You need a cup of sugar, half a cup of flour, so on and so forth. But sometimes the recipe changes. Maybe you want to double the recipe because you have a lot of friends coming over and you need more trays of brownies. But if you're going to double the flour, you probably want to double the sugar, right? You're not going to leave it only lots of flour and not double the sugar. So my recipe card has 2 parts. The number on the top is the same number on the bottom. What I do to the bottom, what I do to the flour, I also need to do to the top, what I need to do to the sugar. So let's say the recipe card can be any number. I usually like to start with small. Let's say I'm doubling my recipe. Instead of 5 people, I have 10 people coming over for my birthday. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. Basically, the recipe card's the same number on top and bottom. Okay, so now I have 1/4, and I'm going to multiply it by 2 over 2 in order to get my answer. So 1/4 times 2 over 2. What I'm going to do is 1 times 2 equals 2. 4 times 2 equals 8. And wouldn't you know that my fancy recipe card got me 2 new equivalent fractions. Now I have doubled, made my recipe a different number, 1/4 instead of 2/8, but they're still equal. They are still worth the same amount. And that's exactly what an equivalent fraction is. Okay, let's try another one. Let's say my fraction is 2 over 3 times, okay, so I used to have a pizza slice, 2 over 3. School changed it up. Now they're changing the slices, and I'm not really sure how many slices I'm going to need. But don't worry, I'm going to use my handy dandy recipe card. I like to just usually use the number 2. We're going to try the number 3, and we'll find out it's still equivalent. 2/3, let's see. Trying the number 2. What I do to the top, I do to the bottom. If I double the sugar, gotta double the flour. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. So what does 4/6 mean? Let's take a look. I like to draw it if I'm ever confused. Now, instead of eating 2 out of the 3 slices at pizza lunch, I have to eat 4 out of the 6 slices. So let's see. I'm going to cut it into 3 and then cut it in half. So I have 6 slices. And this recipe card told me if I eat 4 slices, I will be eating the same amount as if I ate 2 out of 3. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks pretty equivalent. And I got equal fractions, 2 new equal fractions, by using my recipe card. Multiplying the same on the top, multiplying the same on the bottom. Okay, let's try one where I'm using a recipe card of 3. Let's say my pizza is 1/2. Would we all agree this is 1/2? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to use, they're cutting up the pizza lunch differently again. I want to know how many slices I need to eat. Not 1 out of 2, but how many slices if they cut it up all crazy this time. What if I use a recipe card of 3 to find out? What's another equivalent fraction? Let's find out. What's 1 times 3? 1 times 3 is, of course, 3. 2 times 3 is, of course, 6. So this recipe card is telling me if I use 3 times 3 on the top and the bottom, I'm going to get this new equivalent fraction. So do you think that eating 3 out of 6 slices is equal to eating 1 out of 2? I don't know, let's draw and find out. Again, I'm going to cut my pizza into 6 slices. Okay? And now I'm going to shade in 3. If my recipe card is true, which it always is, then I should be getting an equal amount on Monday's pizza lunch. And lo and behold, my recipe card of 3 over 3, 2 over 2, 4 over 4 gave me a new solution for when I go down for pizza lunch. Instead of saying I want 1 out of the 2 slices of the pie, I can say, hey, I want 3 out of the 6, and I'll get an equal amount. And I got that answer by using my equivalent fraction. Bonus. Would anyone be able to figure out the recipe card just by looking at these 2 examples? Well, obviously you know the answer is 3, but you would think to yourself, 2 times what got me 6? Or an easier one, 1 times what got me 3? The answer is 3. So you can also figure out your recipe card. If the moms downstairs at Jefferson Lunch decided to cut the pizza differently, you could figure out how many slices you need to ask for. Okay, let's do a realistic one, okay? That might actually happen at school. Let's say Jefferson School usually cuts their pizza into 8 slices. Let's say you usually get a good 2 out of 8 slices. Okay. Let's say the moms decided to change how you want to cut the pizza. Maybe they cut it into 16 slices. Instead of 8, they cut it into 16 slices. Now, how many slices am I going to ask for in order for me to be eating the same amount? Remember what I said about the bonus question? Well, 8 times what gives me 16? 8 times 2. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. Very good. 2 times 2 is bingo. Okay, for lunch, I'm going to need 4 out of your 16 slices. You couldn't trick me. And now you just found a new equivalent fraction. 4 out of 16 slices is the same as 2 out of 8. You might be thinking, well, these numbers sound really different. How is that possible that they're equal? Well, if you think about it, I'm cutting my pizza into skinnier, smaller slices. So obviously I'm going to want to eat more slices than what I originally had. Okay, let's try. Oh, and your secret word for today is Harry Potter. All right, your exit card. I'm going to give you 2 types of problems. One, I want you to solve and find the equivalent fraction of, let's say, pizza lunch changed. You usually eat 4 out of 6 slices. Now it's changed. I'm going to use a recipe card of 2/2. What is my new equivalent fraction? How many slices are you going to ask for when you go to lunch? Okay, and my second question is, usually you get 2 out of 5 slices of pizza. Today, I'm not going to tell you the recipe card. Let's see who can figure this bonus one out. If you can't figure this out, you're going to need to rewatch the video when I started talking about the bonus. Okay, so, I usually eat 2 out of 5 slices. Now, the slices are cut into 10 slices. How many slices do I need to eat? Instead of 2, it's now cut into 10. I think I'm going to probably need to eat a little more. But by how many times more? 5 times equals 10. Okay? So figure those 2 out. If you need extra help with this, then rewatch the video. Maybe ask mom or dad to sit with you and so that they can help explain it. But make sure you come to class tomorrow fully prepared because we're going to jump right into class doing some games and centers. So make sure you're prepared so you're not confused tomorrow. Okay? See you tomorrow.